Let's see if we got any goodies over here. What about you? You don't look great. Just mud. All right. Well, at least the solenoid is good, but I'm pretty sure the guts are blown out of this guy. This is my tank autofill, is what I call it. You can see the wire going up. Inside is dangling down. There's a float switch, a tilt switch. And yeah, it clicks off, but you can still hear water going by. Dad came out this morning, and for the second time, we had a bit of a flood. This one wasn't as bad, but it likes to run itself around the front of the bins here. You can see it goes all the way out there. So to me, it sounded like when the tanks were full that it was still trying to push water by. So we're gonna crack her open. So as suspected, my solenoid valve has cratered. This particular one that I'm using is a 110 volt, 1-inch NPT, normally closed solenoid valve. This is a solenoid that pulls on, just you run power through it, makes magnet pulls the plunger open. You can get them normally open, normally closed. Normally means it's fail state when there's no power to it. So I want these normally closed because I've got pressured fluid coming to it. Now inside the tank I have a tilt switch, and that can be wired differently too. There's 3 wires that come from it. You can have it so that it contacts when I can't remember exactly the terminology for it, but it contacts in the down position. So it's like a switch and it just closes the points, allows current to flow through, get into this guy opens up, allows water in. You can also rig that thing up the other way. If this was a tank and you needed it to pump out when it got too full, you could rig it so that it was in the up position closed. So we'll crack this guy open in a minute. Well, here's how you know it's not any good. This is, like I said, first of all, you shouldn't hear stuff slopping around in them. And being that it's normally closed, you should be able, or you should not be able to blow through it. That was smart. I got it all over my phone. You got to make sure they're supposed to seal themselves with pressure too. Ugh, thread sealant. Anyhow, I got a new one. So you can, they will bleed backwards if you blow back through them. They actually use the pressure going in to help seal. So flow direction does matter on these. Oh, that was definitely the problem. It's working fine on the other guy, or the other guy's working fine. Let's crack this baby apart just for fun. Bet you good money it's metric on top. So 14 mils pretty much. 9/16 anyways, but that's a good fit. So I probably got to cut that guy off. That's just your magneto there. And I'm not going to bother cracking that. I am going to take that off. See if we can manage this one-handed. Oh, I thought it cracked it. Oh, it's spring. Okay. Well, it doesn't really look like anything wrong with it. Well, I did find a couple good chunks of stuff in there, but I also don't know if this spring's really, it seems all right, but I don't know, it just wasn't sealing right. It should lift it open, but all right, Tuesday, May 27th, and this is what we got left. About 20 acres right here, about 160 over here. I also have 27 acres about 3 miles that way. We might have to wait a few days on that. It's still a bit wet, but we're out of mini bulks. Dad's still got 100 acres of canola on there, and then we still got a bunch of bags, like 14 of them, so we're good on seed. Truck's full. There's still a little bit left in the bin, a little bit left at Precision Ag to pick up, so we're good on fertilizer. So between what's on the drill, which I want to say, we filled yesterday. I think Dad had a good 10 acres left or something like that. Maybe 5 to 10 acres, we'll say. Then we put another 208 acres in. There's 213 plus 120 plus 4% of that 120 is another 5 acres. So that gives us enough for about 300 and some odd acres. We don't have that much left. Oh, no, sorry. Back up. He seeded out 60 last night. So 240. Yeah, we're pretty close. We're probably 2 or 3 bags extra. Yeah, anyhow, we're good on canola. I'm very confident in our canola. The fertilizer's kind of off. Now, we used the exact same blend as last year. We calibrated it. We got the exact same calibration number. Now, we can't remember if we considered that one correct. So we do something that we probably should get away from doing, is that the older system, it was kind of clunky to go back and adjust your calibration number without changing other stuff. What we would do is we would calibrate, as long as it wasn't way out to lunch, like if it was within within 10% probably, we would just we would do the math to adjust our rate accordingly. So if we had a calibration number of, let's say it was like 0.5, that's an easy number, 0.5 pounds per revolution. And we're calling for 330 pounds an acre, and we're getting 300 pounds an acre. Rather than going and change, so we're 10% low. So rather than changing our calibration number down 10% to 0.45, that would be, I think, if my math is right, we would actually just increase our called rate by 10%. So our target would be up to 360 or 365 to get just because of the loop controller. And we've kind of carried that habit into this drill, where we do the same thing. Now, we probably should get away from that, because we could do this infield calibration. We got the exact same numbers. I don't recall what we did last year. My phone is buzzing. That's just market update. So we can, it's a lot easier for us to go and tweak that number, but we still just go, oh, well, it's doing this. We need 5% more. we'll call for a couple more pounds. It's easy, but I think we should get away from it, especially because of the way it's mapping and all that. We don't do the infield calibrations. Maybe we should with the Vaterstad. I don't trust the scales 100%. So there's that. But what we could do, what we historically do, is we'll calibrate. We'll get our calibration number. We'll write that down. We'll put in a known amount, or we'll put in some fertilizer. Always weigh the truck first, fill the drill, and go back and get another weight. So we know how much is in there. We'll go and we'll seed that right empty. And that will give us how many acres we did. And usually we try and do that on the headland because you're not doing shutoffs, so you don't have very much overlap. We try and do it so that you get about 1 to 1.5 headlands. We'll figure out our applied rate and we'll adjust our call out rate accordingly. So I don't recall doing that, or I don't recall if we adjusted our rates up or down last year. We felt like we were getting a little light this year when we did our calibration, or not calibrate, our infield calibration. And so I think Dad upped it 5%, if that. It kind of seems like we might have extra fertilizer, which probably means that we're under applying a little bit. We ran pretty tight on, like, tight as in like almost perfect on our cereal blend. Again, we use the same blend. We had the exact same calibration number. I don't recall if Dad did our infield calibration. But right now we've got, I think Dad said there's probably 60 acres on the drill. We have the tandem full, which is probably 25 ton on it. The tandem grain trailer, the one on the Volvo. And we have about it's about a foot above that sight glass, right about there. I'm going to say that's 10 to 15 ton. Plus we still have a handful of tons at Precision Ag, unblended raw product. Now, if we have extra, it's not the end of the world because we'll just top dress it. We'll probably just put the drill in broadcast mode and we'll just blow it off over 40, 50, 60 acres. It takes an hour and a half, whatever. I'm just wondering if it is our calibration that's wrong, our math that's wrong, our overlap that's wrong, or what. But yeah, we're pretty sure we're going to end up with a little bit extra. Dad said he's going to up the rate a little bit. He's going on to some land that can take it. It's always a little bit damper over there. Grows a really nice crop over there. There was a lot of manure spread in the day. But yeah, if we've got 15 extra ton, I'm saying maybe I've got 10 left here, and I don't know, maybe there's 4 left at Precision. Call it 15. Well, if we have 15 extra ton, we could probably top dress at 100 pounds an acre. 15, that's 300 acres. 15, whoopsie, times 2205 divided by, 100, 330 acres. That's a lot. But it's better than being under. Now keep in mind, Dad said he's going to up the rate about 10 or 20 pounds, which I get the feeling we might have been 10 or 20 pounds light the whole time. It doesn't sound like much when you're sitting there talking about, we're putting on 344 pounds. What's 10 or 20 pounds? But 10 or 20 pounds over 2,000 acres, let's use the average 15, and then 15 times we're just shy of 2,000 acres. It's like 1,985. Call it 2,000. That's 30,000 pounds. That's 14 ton. So that's gotta be something. See, little under 60. That's going to be pretty close to 20 ton. Call it 10 and 10 off. Yeah, 18 to 20.